to get to the end as fast as possible. So time will start whenever we get through this setting screen.
Alright, so 3, 2, 1, go. No bully.
Okay, so yeah, right off the bat, you'll see that we're using two different vehicles. The vehicle I'm using is very good at this trick that you'll see me doing right here, and that allows me to get really good times on lap 1 without boost, and that'll allow me to boost him a bit more, and then on boost laps he should be a bit faster, because Fat Shark has a very powerful boost. And so we're kind of like helping each other to boost each other on different laps.
If everything goes right, it is.
Yeah, I'm also not the best at chaining, so there's that.
Oh my god.
I also need to warm up a bit again.
Alright, barely avoided.
Okay, so now he's ahead. Hopefully he should be staying ahead. So this game has a lot of tricks to help you speed up. One of them you'll see me doing right now is MTS, which is Momentum Turbo Slide, and essentially what it is I'm turning my vehicle sideways and then I'm using my strafe to propel myself forward at a high speed. And combined with turning off the engine, which I'll also explain separately, it just allows you to get a lot of speed, and yeah, it makes for very good openers because you can get higher top speeds just without boosting. Because otherwise you'll be driving around at about 1100 kilometers per hour, but here you can like, it kind of spikes up. Yeah, that's
whatever.
So here we're both going to be using Fat Shark because it's just straight up the best option.
In this game there are about, I would say, 4 or 5 viable machines for high level time attack, and Fat Shark is probably the most used one, together with a machine called Gallant.
Yeah, Ganon Star, which we'll be seeing a lot of later on.
Me, probably.
Yeah. So yeah, as I said, Fat Shark has a very powerful boost, which makes this track just perfect for it, because you can chain these boosts together. You're gonna go for the jump? Alright, you made it. So, it's very hopefully that would have fixed the problem.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Okay, so let's see, what vehicle do you use again?
I'm gonna use Fat Shark, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna go
Quick or battle, I guess.
quick, yeah. I'm gonna try Quick Star. So yeah, this vehicle, it's very light and it has a very high strafe value, which allows it to get a lot of speed on MTSs. And just generally, like, it uses the best booster, or the best custom booster in the game at least, because the best booster belongs to Fat Shark, which unfortunately we cannot use on custom vehicles.
If only.
So one thing you'll see me do is I'm using these side attacks, which makes these little orbs spin around me. And that allows you to exit an MTS with a lot more speed, because normally when you're turning all the way sideways and then you're trying to turn back, you lose a lot of speed from that, but with the side attacks it kind of helps, and it reorients your machine as well, so it's just a very good way to exit. You could also just exit with a quick turn, but it's just a bit slower. But it kind of depends on the track, and it's kind of personal preference as well, like it's not a huge difference. So this track is very good for MTSing. As you can see, I can just go up the spiral at a high speed, and then you can benefit from that with higher top speed and higher boost speed from the handicap.
Well, you'll notice once he gets further away from me, my machine will start going really fast. Messed it up. So basically, this machine normally has an unboosted top speed of around 1110, I would say. I think, I'm not sure.
Something like that, yeah.
But now you can see it's almost at 1200 just because he's so far ahead of me right now. It also increases my boost power quite significantly. So my machine just like becomes... It's already like one of the best machines in the game, and it just gets pumped up on steroids this way.
Yeah, so even if I'm playing a bit sloppy, like just being ahead, it boosts him, and the way versus mode works is that after the first person finishes, or whenever there's one person still racing, it'll start a countdown, and that's about 10 seconds, I think. Yeah, after that, the race will end, so ideally we would end around the same time, otherwise we have to wait 10 seconds for the track to fully fade out. So the idea is just to have Quick Star boosting the other vehicle on lap 1, and then the other way around. I guess on lap 2 you're trying to play catch up. Yeah. And then on lap 3 then the other vehicle should be able to boost Quick Star. So that's the idea behind the run. There it is. So for this track I'm going to be using Gallant Star, which is my favorite machine in the game. It handles very nicely, it has good stats, it has a really nice boost. It can pretty much do anything.
The reason I choose Fat Shark is because it's my favorite machine and I know how to handle it kind of well. Was better at it.
Fat Shark also, since it doesn't use MTS as much, because it doesn't gain as much speed from it as some other vehicles, it has a more clean driving style. So whereas you'll see me like bumping into walls and like going all over the track, he's more going for optimal race lines and optimal boost patterns. This track is also very difficult to chain on. Oh, I actually almost hit you there. That's one of the risks of doing this in versus mode.
Yeah, we have to watch out that we don't bump into each other a lot.
Yeah. It won't immediately... Okay,
like
well,
this.
I guess that works, because I bumped you forward. But yeah, it won't immediately kill the other person if they get hit by a side attack, because there's a damage cap. And just in general, side attacks don't do too much damage to human players. But it's still, like, it can really mess you up. Like, it can send you flying into the wall, which will kill all of your speed. I guess one of the basic mechanics of this game, and most F-Zero games, is the energy bar. It's both your health and your boost power. So, when you're boosting, you're taking a higher risk, because when you have no energy left, then a single hit will just destroy your machine. So it has a very heavy risk-reward trade-off. And there's of course also trying not to fall off the track.
I almost did it there.
Yeah, if you go too fast over that part of the track, then you'll just fly off. Because the force is like, it's trying to pull you off the track more than you can cling onto it.
Now we get to one of the more interesting tracks in the game, in my opinion. This kinda has everything in F-Zero. It's also F-Shark, a Fat Shark track. Did I almost say F-Shark? Nice abbreviation, I guess. But you'll see the difference here. I generally use a driving style that doesn't utilize side attacks, and while Vallkyr does use side attacks, and you can like see the difference here already, like right at the start. I'll go left and do an MTS, and he'll just take the jump.
Yeah, the jump is just a slight bit faster. I don't think it is faster without side attacks.
Because without side attacks you can get a shift boost there, and it just like really benefits you.
It's okay. We don't lose too much speed from bumping into each other, and this machine also is a tank. Like, it does not lose energy quickly at all. Which actually brings me to the next point, which is mine boosting, because there's mines in this game. There's a lot of them coming up. We'll be using them to go fast.
Oh god.
So I took one of them there, and it sped me up, and it didn't even take like 10% of my energy. Which is very nice. Pretty good dive, but bad energy refill. So right there I went for a shift boost before the dive, which allowed me to land at like a crazy speed. But that also means it's very difficult to regenerate your energy, which means I have to be a bit more cautious about boosting, and I can't hit a mine right now. So yeah, since this track, like, we're both using the same vehicle, like, there's not a lot of, like, the rubber banding going on. We're both just kind of racing, although the person behind still gets, like, a small benefit, like maybe 10%, even if we're at this distance apart. So it's pretty nice. So yeah, that's what you see right there is just an MTS, which is like propelling yourself forward with your strafe, except you're doing it against the wall. So all of your momentum is just like going straight forward because the wall's blocking you the other way, which allows you to get crazy speeds up to like 4,000 kilometers per hour. But it is like a burst, like you start losing that speed very quickly.
Oh, you need quicker.
Yeah. So right now we haven't really figured out like what's optimal for each track. Like right now it might not be optimal for me to load the garage data to use Quickstar. Like it might be better to just use either Fat Shark or maybe Black Bull, although Black Bull generally isn't used on this track.
Fat Shark is slightly superior.
So yeah, all of these things are very difficult to try out because it's hard to just find two people in the same place to do runs of this game. We have a small but very dedicated community. And surprisingly, a lot of European players.
God, MPS didn't want to.
Yeah, this is one track where Quickstar really shines.
Yeah, this is probably like the best Quickstar track, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say either this or maybe Aeropolis Screw Drive. So yeah, that's another interesting thing to note about the different playstyles. Back in the day when there weren't any rules about what is and isn't allowed, some players decided to not use light vehicles and side attacks, like the way I'm using Quickstar right now. And that developed into like its own little, like, a subset of players who just follow those rules. Kinda messed it up. But we're both finishing around the same time, so in that sense it doesn't matter too much.
It's very easy to mess stuff up in this game.
Yeah. So yeah, the nature of like using side attacks is that it's a bit spammy, like you don't have to mash as fast as possible because you can only do them 7.5 times per second, if I'm not mistaken. So you're pressing the button quickly, but it's not mashing, so... But still, some people didn't like it, and... what are we doing? Alright.
Yeah. This is a track where you can really see the difference between side attack and on-side attack.
Yeah, definitely.
Like normally I wouldn't stand a chance really here with Fat Shark, but with handicap I might actually be able to like do something. Because there's a very big dive in this level, where he will like actually do kind of a double dive, I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
He'll do a side attack dive and then lift up and do another one right after, while I am just gonna dive straight down. I could do a double dive, but it's quite iffy with Fat Shark, and I'm not very consistent at it.
Yeah, so hopefully I don't mess this
Oh.
It's actually a really big time save if you manage to do that, but
Yeah.
you have to do an MTS to like get yourself facing away from the track, and then you use the side attack dive to face yourself back on the track while gaining speed in the process from the dive. And then you actually, I guess you can see it on boost laps because I'll definitely be going for it again. It's just fortunate that I didn't die, so we'll take that. So this game is very difficult. Like, it's impossible to do a run without mistakes. It's just a matter of minimizing mistakes, and like not dying is like the biggest thing.
So he did it this time. Nice.
Okay. Not the best dive, but I made it. So you'll see that I skipped like all those platforms, which kind of destroy your speed when you go over them, because of the way you keep like dropping down. And also, you just, while you're in the air, you don't really lose speed in general. Well, you do, but with side attack dives, you're gaining speed, so it works out. Okay.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
go ahead.
Okay, we have a €5 donation from Conquerizanot. Yay, Mike like a boss. Redcap made it. Woo!
Ah, okay,
Alright.
so I dropped too low. You have to like phase very flat in order to float properly, which I didn't phase
Yeah.
far enough up, so I kept diving.
Oh, wall hit, please. Wall hit, please. That was awful, Jesus. Rip.
Alright. So again, we do finish around the same time, so
Yeah.
that works out. Yeah, we just use Fact Check.
Yeah.
I usually use Gallon Star on this track, but that would require loading the garage data, which would be slower.
I don't remember which car I used for my PB. I think I used Gallant as well, actually.
Yeah. I don't know. They're both really good. Are you gonna go for the left or the right set of mines?
I'm gonna go for the left side. Depends if I go first or not. Oh god.
No. Yeah, so the reason I overtook him there is because I used the edge of the booster, which for some reason gives you a slightly more powerful boost. So left, right?
I'm going left.
Okay. Okay, I missed the final mine. Still got somewhat decent speed.
Nice synchronized and
Yeah. It's actually really nice to see stuff like this happening at the exact same time.
The refillers on this track can be quite iffy.
Oh yeah,
Due
definitely.
to the shape of the track. Like, on some parts the track is like shaped really weird. But not good.
Yeah, that goes on my speed. Okay. Trying to look at your screen to see
Yeah.
where you were coming from. Okay. Another thing you have to be very careful of there is if you do an MTS and you go over like a hump, then you'll get into the air, and since you're upside down at that part of the track, since you're in like a Mobius loop, you just kinda fall down and, well, you don't die, but you respawn, which still loses a lot of time. Hit the wall again.
You die a little on the inside when that happens, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh what? I'm lucky, I guess.
Yeah, very in sync right now.
Close one.
Hmm. I think the next is gonna be about the same.
It's long pipe, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god. I spent way too much time on this track.
Okay, I'll use a different color this time.
I don't know, I just like the blue. Even on tracks where the ground is blue, I still use the blue.
Yeah, kind of like how I like to use the yellow even on fire fields, so it's like your vehicle is really difficult to see at times.
Who cares, right? It's all about style.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, as the name would suggest, this track is just a very long pipe, which the pipe physics can be a bit weird. It takes some getting used to. Okay, well, I missed the boosters now. He's gonna take the lead.
I slid there for a bit. That kills my speed. Like if Fat Shark loses his grip, you just like drop all your speed sadly.
Yeah, so that's the way they try to sort of balance this vehicle against others, is by making it lose a lot of speed from turning. It's just that we use quick turns, which is like, it's barely even like advanced tech, but it pretty much mitigates the speed loss from turning. But otherwise, this machine is just insane. Like, there's no way this was meant to be balanced.
I mean, he has 5 boosters.
Yeah.
Most machines only have like 2. It's only fair that he goes faster, I think.
I mean, he is very cheap, paid for it, so I guess he deserved it. And yet they still rated it a B. The rankings in this game aren't very accurate. B for best, yes. So then the E in Magic Seagull's grip would be excellent?
Yes.
I guess that would make sense.
Sometimes stats are true, but usually they aren't.
Yeah, it's like they pretty much took the stats from F-Zero X, but then at least they use it for displaying the stats, and then internally it just works completely differently.
I guess on F-Zero X, some machine stats weren't quite accurate as well.
I mean, for X, it's literally just like based off of the ranking. There's no other internal values going on, so it's very simplistic compared to this game, which has a lot of different stats. Like even for just grip, there's I believe 3 different values that it uses.
Yeah, there's strafe.
Yeah, there's strafe, and then there's like aerial strafe, and there's just a lot of stuff going on. So as expected, we finished close to each other. It's not a very interesting track.
No,
but
there's not much going on.
Now we get to my favorite, which everybody else hates, but you know.
Oh wait.
Yeah, thank you. So that's the unfortunate thing, is that we can't both load the garage data.
Yeah.
So yeah, here I use Gallon Star, which is the optimal vehicle to use, but it's also very difficult, because you'll see. The skips I'm gonna attempt are pretty crazy. Now normally this would be like a big run killer if you died, but thankfully we have respawn, so we only lose probably 10 seconds maybe?
Yeah, at most. Gotta be careful that
Yeah.
nice, okay.
That worked out really well. Okay, so that's lap 1. Now we just have to do that 2 more times.
Yeah.
This time, since I used the mines, I'm gonna have to do something else. Okay, I missed. That's unfortunate. So, by doing the MTS, you're changing your angle at which you're lifting off, which means gravity will help you get to the jump plate.
Oh no, I'm not making that.
Hey, still alive.
Yeah, something. Oh shit. No.
Yeah, like a lot of people don't like this track,
Yeah, I don't.
and I mean, it takes a lot of time to get decent at. Like, I put way too much time into this track, and even then, like, there's no consistency on this track. It just doesn't exist.
Fuck.
Okay.
Unfortunate.
There's another thing you can do. Okay, I'm gonna have to be very careful about this. So you can kind of like float.
Well,
by
you
doing
can
those
see
side
the full
attacks.
effect of the handicap right now. I'm going so.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So I guess in this case we're gonna see the timeout.
Oh no. Yeah.
So we could turn the respawns off, but then it would always kind of result in one person having to die at the end to save time, which isn't really that fun. So we decided to go for having respawns on, which aside from being more safe for the marathon, it's just both people get to finish the race.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Otherwise, like especially in later tracks during the Diamond Cup mostly, you'll see like probably lots of us falling off the track.
Yeah, Diamond Cup is another really big run killer. It's just like filled with a lot of difficult tracks. Although to be fair, serial gaps could also fit in Diamond very easily with how difficult it is.
Oh, got one.
Okay. Let's see if we both get it. I hope I don't.
I got a single.
Yeah, I got the single as well, so I was really worried I was just gonna ram into the back of your machine if I did get the double. Yeah, I guess we haven't explained shift boosting yet. It's really weird. When you lift off the track for just a few frames and then you go back onto the track, you get a burst of speed. And how much speed you get depends on like your acceleration, your weight, I think a few other things as well. But yeah, Fat Shark is very heavy, has high acceleration, so it gets a lot of speed from shift boost.
I think it's mostly your acceleration value and your weight, and then like how much you benefit from it is like your speed retention. What are you doing?
I'm bumping forward. It's fine.
So we have some machines that have like really good weight, but pretty bad speed retention due to well different things like low unboosted top speeds mostly. I don't think I got enough. So there's this machine called Crazy Bear. That's like a comparable booster to Fat Shark, I would say, in like mostly in the beginning stages, until you get up to really high speeds.
I mean, whoa, okay, so I got it. I think that was a double shift boost right there. I'm just driving over a certain part of the track. Oh, that's not the final.
Oh god.
Okay, that's the downside of having doing this in versus mode, is that you don't see a timer. That usually helps me figure out what lap I'm on. Yeah, about Crazy Bear, it actually has the same stats displayed as Fat Shark, but it handles completely differently.
God. I really hate that section.
Yeah, it's really janky. Like, you're trying not to lose a lot of speed also. So this goes well.
I didn't get it.
Yeah, I got the single again. You can actually get a double shift boost. Well, it's like not really a double because it happens like a bit after each other. It's not like in consecutive frames or anything. But you can get like over 2,000 kilometers per hour just by getting a double shift boost there.
I know we get one of my personal favorite tracks. I hope it goes well. It's kind of a tricky track to get right, but once you do, it's pretty glorious. I hope I can showcase it here. If not, rip. But
yeah, it would be great.
This is one of the faster tracks in the game, if done right. But it's kind of hard to do, especially on the first lap, because you have to. There's a pipe in this, and you can get a double shift boost in it from a really specific angle. Explained by E-Dragon's legendary video with a really nice Microsoft Paint arrow in it, like where you have to be exactly on the track.
And top tier microphone quality.
Oh, I got a single one. Let's see.
I got a single as well.
Right.
Yeah, just again, we're driving over a specific part of the track to try and lift off for just a brief moment and then land. You can get a double shift boost, which will boost you over 2,000 kilometers per hour, and then you can like keep chaining that. So you keep building speed with every time you go through that turn.
And you can just like get through that tunnel at like in light speed, pretty much.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Okay.
Nice, I got it.
I'm just glad I'm getting through the turn alive. It's really weird. Like if you try to do it without the MTS, then there's just something about it. Like it just wants to throw you off, but when you're MTSing,
nice.
You got it? Okay,
I'm going fast. Oh, rip.
Yeah, you have to like adjust a tiny
rip.
bit to keep the chain going. Very difficult.
You could see kind of the potential there. It was not like full speed yet, but it was still pretty fast.
Yeah, if you do it right, you can get over 2,500 by the end of it.
Oh shit. Oh god. My angle's way off.
Okay. Try not to bump into you as well. But yeah, like something about that turn. If you're MTSing through it, you're just kind of like glued to the track. So at that point, you just want to not hit a wall because that would still bounce you over the rail. Okay, there's one.
It's
And
so
then I
weird. I
missed
can
it.
see the shift boost effect. Oh, I got one again.
Oh yeah, that might actually be a co-op effect.
Yeah, I think it is. Like I actually can see the unusual effect you get with, like the thing under your car you get when.
Yeah, so to keep this game running at 60 FPS constantly, they had to make some sacrifices for multiplayer, which means less scenery and then like some other stuff being removed. Even some stuff that affects gameplay.
Oh Jesus!
Don't mind that.
Don't worry about
I'm
it.
notorious for messing up rail slides.
I have not seen that.
What? What?
Moreno menus.
I didn't see anything.
This is another track that's very easy to die on if you're going for the optimal strats, which you also want to be going for shift boosts here, but rather than driving over a specific part of the track, you actually like drive off of the track and then you strafe back on.
Yeah.
And then you do that repeatedly to build speed. It gets pretty crazy. And with every time you do it, like if you take too long to strafe back on, then you'll just fall.
Oh God. Why did I have so much trouble initiating MTS? I didn't get it.
Okay, well I got a few of them. It's
Oh,
far from optimal.
Fuck. Alright.
So at the point,
messed up.
he's just gonna have very big speed boost to try and catch back
Yeah.
up. So it's always nice. Okay, so at this part of the track you want to slow down, because if you're going over too fast, then you'll fall off. Same as what happens in Lightning Loop Cross. So if at all possible, we're gonna avoid that.
I have to be really careful, especially with the handicap. I can go so fast that I can just easily fly off in pretty much every turn here. Like 2 boost plates and I'm already going at like 1900 kilometers an hour. Which is great in a way, but it really messes up your timing sometimes.
Yeah, you're right about not seeing the shift boost particles. It's really weird. It's like you don't always immediately feel the speed increase because you're trying to chain them so quickly, like you'll not be sure if you got it until like a second later.
Yeah. Oh, I almost.
I don't think I've touched up on momentum throttle yet. So, for some reason, when you have your machine's engine off, like you're not accelerating, your speed decreases like pretty much linearly, as opposed to it trying to force you back down to your top speed. So if you're accelerating when you're going at like over 2,000 kilometers per hour, you're going to lose that speed very quickly. Whereas if you're not holding the accelerator, you can keep the speed for a lot longer, and that's the key to going so fast. Which you'll notice even more obviously in the Diamond Cup. Like shift boosting is great tech, it allows you to go very fast, but without MT it wouldn't make as big of an impact. Okay, I'm taking a bit of a risk here. Okay, worked out. No.
Oh, fuck.
Menus.
Please no. Yeah, at least he looks so happy. Oh God. Well, this is universally, I think, the most hated track in the game, if I'm correct.
Nah.
Half pipe.
Nah.
That's fine.
It's fine, but
It's not great. It's
you can see.
interesting in a way, but
As
it's
you-
also a pain.
yeah. As you can see, it's a half pipe. Pipes already have wonky physics, and this doesn't improve on it much.
Yeah, this is also one that really tends to mess up new players. Like, it's serial gaps and this track that are like the biggest problems.
Nice. Good.
Because serial gaps is just a very difficult track in general, and here you have to deal with the pipe physics, and if you just approach the edge and you barely go over, you'll just immediately fall down. Like, there's no way to recover. This means you have to have very good control of your machine to make sure you don't go near the
Yeah.
edges.
It's also very important to always be on the right part of the pipe.
Okay, that worked out.
Because if you get bumped somehow, you usually just get sent flying off.
Okay, I'm gonna get it. Oh, you got it. Nice.
Oh shit.
Aw.
I kind of ruined it though, but
Yeah, so that's another shift boost you can get from just driving over a specific spot at a specific speed. It's actually like a double shift boost, so it suddenly sends you flying at like double your speed. There's a fairly consistent setup for it when you're doing time attacks, but I think because we're in versus mode it doesn't work out because it places us differently on the track.
yeah.
So our best bet is to just try and go for it on boost laps.
Guess I'm getting that shift boost every time.
I actually noticed that it's not the final lap, so that's good.
Good job, you did it. Yeah, I'm not gonna go this one. I almost got sent flying there.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Okay, so yeah, that's what
Yeah.
happens when you don't like exit the pipe properly. It's very picky, and sometimes, like, even if it feels like you're doing the same thing, you can get different results. It's very strange. Like, it depends on, I think, if you're like strafing or like this,
Yeah.
how your
Sometimes you
grip
can
is.
just clip through as well. It's
Yeah.
good game.
I mean, the edges just have really dodgy hit detection in general.
Yeah. Yeah, I had one as well, where I was just trying to land on the pipe and then it just fell through.
Yeah.
That happens as well. This game, it's like this game never got properly beta tested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, since I guess E-Dragon doesn't have a microphone, the devs did know about some of the exploits we're using, like shift boosting. They knew about that because the staff ghost in lateral shift uses it. Snaking, it's used on Meteor Stream. So like they knew about the tech and they just thought it was interesting enough to keep it in the game, I guess. Actually, the same thing happened with F-Zero X, with double tapping on half pipes. Like there was even an interview with one of the staff members, and they were like, you know, it's a rewarding thing. Like it's a fun thing, a fun trick to use, and it's, you know, something nice for people who stumble upon it.
Oh shit.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, the walls actually have their own gravity, so if you get stuck on that, then it continuously damages you, and you just can't drive properly.
Yeah, if you're lucky and you just get stuck to a wall, it's pretty much GG. There's no way you recover from that. You just like either drive on it till you die.
Okay, I'm gonna try to go for a little skip here. Okay,
Oh,
got
yeah,
it.
she got it. Ah, no
So-
problem. Oh, what?
Okay, gonna play it safe. Probably a smart thing to do. So one interesting thing to note is that if you're playing with, I think, 3 people or more, then the building that we're trying to avoid disappears, like including collisions, so that makes the skip a lot easier. So unfortunately it doesn't quite do that yet for 2 players. Yes, we have some time for a donation.
Currently there's no donation, but I would gladly take the time to tell you a little bit about what we're doing. We're running in support of the Dutch Cancer Society, an amazing charity which aims to prevent and fight cancer and alleviate the suffering of those already battling the disease. 90% of your donations will go directly towards the Dutch Cancer Society, so get your donations in.
Getting bullied again.
Whoa, okay, that was interesting. I've never had that happen. This game never ceases to amaze. So I bounced into that wall and I kept a decent amount of speed, and then I just got a lot of height. So that actually worked out really well. It's not the skip I wanted to do. You can skip, you can land a lot further, but it works. A reminder not to do a suicide finish because, yeah, I almost went for it. This track is just like perfectly set up at the end for a suicide finish. Because when your machine is bouncing, it gains speed, and since you're going uphill, it's going to bounce very quickly, and then you just shoot off into the sky over the goal. And that'll still count as a finish, as long as your machine doesn't fully explode. Okay, so now it's time for Diamond Cup, so this is going to be pretty rough. Like, pretty much every track in this is very difficult. You're actually going to go with Hardbanger.
Yeah, I have faith.
I mean, Hardbanger kind of started as a meme, but then it got the fast lap record on this track, and it also helped discover a better vehicle to use for Aeropolis Dragon Slope. So it's actually like kind of legit. It is
Still,
a meme, yeah. It's a very good meme.
Just bang hard,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, so I missed the second shift boost there. I'm gonna try to do a lot of shift boosts here. But they are very risky. You can only do them in certain parts of the track because of the way it slopes.
As you can see, this track does not have rails, which means it's very risky, but very rewarding at the same time once you get it right.
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna play it a bit safe here. Normally I'd go for a lot more shift boosts, but it's scary. It's very scary. Although at the end here you can pretty much go all out. This is pretty safe to do, generally, as long as you can control the speed, which unfortunately I messed up. This is actually a very good place to like carry speed into your second lap, and that'll like really make an impact on the times you get on your boost laps.
Now you can see like the full power of this machine unleashed because I'm quite far behind right now. And now this machine will just like, it will just go. It also has insane speed retention, so once I get pretty high speeds, I just like let go of the accelerator. Oh. It's also very stiff.
It is, yeah. Like it does not like to turn, especially at lower speeds.
I mean, we have a special. Maybe I can catch it now.
Yeah. Like I was expecting to die on this track. Like this is nothing new. Like it would not be an F-Zero GX run without dying on Trident, unless you're playing super safe. But that's not the spirit of F-Zero. Bang. Okay, so now he's past me, so... Yeah, every death loses, especially on this track, I would say it loses more than 10 seconds each. Wow, that's a lot of speed from shift boost when you're behind.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, what? It just lost grip. Rip.
Hardbanger
Yeah, it
grip.
just lost grip.
Yeah, that would definitely catch you off guard. Okay, so because of the track kind of like curving here, I went a bit too fast and it shot me into the air. So I should have braked a little bit. But hey, we're finishing around the same time, so it all works out. Okay.
Oh my god, I'm banging that ball real hard. Special shout out to that nice logo on the side.
It's pretty good.
What a machine.
So if you didn't get enough shift boosting yet, then we're gonna do some more here. So this is the track I mentioned earlier, that the Staff Ghost also does shift boost on, but fortunately it doesn't know about MT, and it uses a vehicle that's not particularly good at shift boosting, so it's not too difficult to beat. So,
I mean, even with 1 or 2 dash, we should easily be able to beat it.
yeah, for sure. Oh, this is gonna be dodgy, going for the same shift boost.
Yeah. Fuck, I missed the dash break out. What? That's so weird to see if you get it or not.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Just trying not to die here. Missing a shift boost is a lot better than dying. Just have to focus in this track.
I think it's actually faster for me to boost now, almost.
You know, it very well might be with your boosted boost power. So one interesting thing about this track is that the record actually doesn't use any boost, because when you're shift boosting, when you're boosting, it messes with your acceleration, and so you don't want a boost to be active when you're trying to shift boost, because it will decrease the amount of speed you get. So ultimately, you would just not boost here.
Yeah, but I'm dead.
Yeah,
Holy
like if you
shit,
miss
I'm
one,
dead.
then it's just better to...
Oh my god. I got bodied.
Okay, well, we're gonna get the timeout here. I guess that's a nice way to make sure like a level doesn't drag on.
Yeah. Oh, this is a fun track. I think it's fun.
I don't think the polls are gone yet, so no, it's not a good track. 4 people, it's a good track.
Oh, it's nice and bumpy.
My runs are long dead by this point. I would lose them on Trident. Or serial gaps. Probably that more so than anything.
The wobble.
Yeah. So sometimes when you land back... Oh wait, these pipes are gone. I guess it's just the later ones that aren't gone. So normally there's like pipes over top of that part of the track. And if you hit them, then you can just like lose your speed. And if you're above the lava, then, well, it's kind of just over for you. So fortunately, even with 2 people, that's gone. But coming up there are a few pipes at the top. Right now I'm not going fast enough for them to really matter, but on boost laps I should be like going into their area and then trying to avoid them.
Oh. Good track.
Okay, well, okay, so gravity gets a bit weird sometimes. When you go off the track at an angle, then it'll try to pull you to the side, and then you just kind of like spiral out of control. Which you can use to your advantage, but a lot of the times it happens when you don't want it to. Ooh, that was actually really close. Okay, so it's at this point that we get into pipe territory.
Yeah, I had one hit.
Ah.
I should have not steered down there. Oh my god. Track, please.
It's so relieving to not have to worry about the pipes right there.
Oh nice, you got a shift.
So because of the track being all wobbly there, sometimes...
Oh no! Oh! Okay.
Sometimes you just like lift off and then you get pulled into the wall's gravity, so it's not a very nice track to play in general.
It can be fun.
It can be. It can also really mess you up.
It's not.
It's fun. No, Zealing's time is shit. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like an old meme that the wing really just did not want to play that track at all. So his time was not good for his skill ranking, and so we just kind of like made fun of him until he improved. So now he actually has like a pretty respectable time. I think it's better than mine. So what do you do? Alright, try not to hit each other. Okay, good. Barely avoided that, completely on purpose. Oh yeah, I don't do the new strat here yet. Can I go shift boost? I do. Okay, well. That's the risk you take. So here you also really see how much of an effect side effect dives have. Even with that death, I'm still right behind him. Okay, so coming up we can get an MTS into a side attack dive. Hopefully I'm gonna get it. There we go. So that one kind of requires you to do side attacks to get it properly, so... we're just gonna keep going. Oh, I kind of went off at an angle. One shift boost would do.
Oh shit. Oh god. Oh no. There's no way.
Okay, so now in boost laps I can take the jump a lot easier. That's a new strat. I don't think that's enough loading. I think I only got one shift boost. Hard to say. I think I did. And then sometimes when you drive over that part of the track, you'll suddenly get a shift boost, and then you have to be very quick to respond, otherwise you'll just ram into the wall and either lose all your speed or just fly over and die. It's pretty bad. I'm going the wrong way.
I think I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
Maybe?
No, it's not gonna happen.
No. Now we get one of the most fun tracks in the game. By many standards.
Interesting. Can you Gary say that? So this track is very split on which vehicle is used. For beginners, usually they would go for Sonic Phantom because its turning just works really well. Like it can very easily make the turns, and it's still a respectable machine. It has a good boost, good top speed. But there's also a skip you can do, and that requires you to do some MTSing, and Sonic Phantom is not very good at that.
Yeah, the Sonic Phantom can get it without MTSing.
Oh really?
If you hop the inside of the corner, you can get the...
Huh.
The
Yeah, it's
second
kind of like a
one you can't
two-parter.
get.
Okay. Yeah, because the
Oh,
split
I
screen
almost
is...
got it.
Because of the split screen, it's really difficult to see what's coming up, but I was trying to use side attacks to speed myself up enough to lift off the track at the right point, and from there I could do the skip, but we're just gonna have to do it on boost laps.
So this track is hated by many because it has like really bouncy walls for some reason, and it's very narrow.
Yeah.
So
Also the AI cheats a lot, like on this final part, they just like jump over and land back here,
yeah,
even though that's like nearly impossible.
it is impossible, right?
I think... Actually I'm not sure, because they do have like boosted stats and stuff. I don't know the specifics. Oh okay, I didn't lift off there. That was actually like a pretty good setup. If you MTS and then you like tap the accelerator again, you'll lift off and then you can land a bit further on in the track. It's not a huge skip. Because of the way GX's checkpoint system works, you can't skip more than... Actually, I think it's a certain amount of distance, not necessarily an amount of checkpoints. Which is also the reason we can't just like do the jump and then land back here, even though we have the potential to land back at the finish line. We would just explode upon hitting the track. I might die here. But that's the essence of the skip, so... How am I still alive? Hello?
Gallon body.
Even then, like...
Getting bullet.
Just a small tap. All I had to do was not MTS and it would have been fine. But you got to see what it sort of looks like. Normally you get it with like a bit more height, which is pretty good. And this rail is also very strange to be MTRSing on.
Whip speed.
Alright, so that brings us to the final cup in the game, which is the AX Cup, which contains all 6 tracks that were in F-Zero AX, which we're gonna see later on, played completely differently. Because even though it's made by the same people and it shares the same assets and like the same tracks mostly, the physics engine is a lot different, so you'll see later on how that ends up being. It's faster than GX's, I'll tell you that much. Admittedly, in this game you can also snake, which is faster than what we're doing right now.
But it destroys your wrists.
Yeah, so they split it up into 3 different ladders. There's max speed, which is what we are doing. There's snaking, and then there's open ladder, which involves space flying, which basically means you just lift off as soon as possible. You get a few checkpoints in the air. You trick the game into thinking you're actually finishing a lap, even though you skipped 90% of the track, and yeah, that's basically space flying.
Really hard to get consistent right now.
Yeah, for sure. But you can get crazy times, like on Big Blue Ordeal, we got over 2 minutes, and you can do it under 20 seconds with space flying, so it's kind of broken. So normally on this track there's a really fun suicide finish.
I think I have too much energy. Oh my god.
I mean, restores on, so I wouldn't go for it anyway. That's the point I was trying to make. Normally you would MTS into that right wall and then it would launch you like all the way here to the finish line. And yeah. So I think it was at one of the GDQ events. Neglaria, I'm pretty sure it was Neglaria, offered a pizza to the runner if he could get the skip or the suicide finish first try, and then he did. So since then it's kind of been known as the pizza skip or the pizza suicide. Like, it's not even a particularly difficult skip to get, but it's just fun. This is my favorite venue, and it's also a pretty solid track, although very janky.
This is my favorite track as well, just because
frame drops.
Just because of how crazy it can be.
Yeah.
I think that this is the track with like the most potential in the game to go like ridiculously fast. Next to Costa Terminal.
Yeah. I mean, any cylinder track can really, like any track that's not like straight can have a lot of shift boosting potential, but yeah, this one is pretty crazy,
yeah,
which E-Dragon actually did a task of, and you should totally check that out. It's on YouTube, so you should be able to find it pretty easily.
We didn't both get it.
Yeah. Here once again it's just like a difference of playstyle as to which vehicle is used. Okay, I actually got a double shift boost there. This is very nice. Gives me some more speed entering this area.
Oh, really?
And another one. Okay. Like once you get the shift boost going, you can generally have enough speed to do another one a bit after. So it's kind of like a chain reaction, and if you miss the first one, then it can be a big time loss.
Oh, I got a shift boost exiting the tunnel.
Nice.
Oh wait, oh. Oh, you went for that?
I mean, I might as well. Yeah, just the venue looks very pretty, and it's unique. Like, it's the only track in the game that uses the outer space venue.
Guess Cosmo Terminal's kinda out of space.
It's not the same. It's not the
Nah.
same.
Speaking of bad tracks again,
Yeah.
this is Cylinder Wave. This is like, we saw Cylinder Knot earlier. This is like that track, but far worse because of the way it's shaped. It's just very wonky.
Yeah, like, instead of being, like, perfectly round, it's kind of like flat in a way, so when you're transferring between the two...
Get out of
This
here.
is just-
Yes.
Wow. Sabotaging the speedrun.
Dude,
How dare you?
I gave you a speed boost. You should be happy. Oh god. Look at the legendary camera wobble.
Ooh. Okay. Oh yeah, there's a fun thing you can do here. You just kind of squeeze yourself in there, and you get a double shift boost. And somehow got another shift boost out of that. That's pretty crazy.
Have you got another one?
Yeah, and another one. Like, I don't think I've ever gotten this many shift boosts in this
How
track.
am I supposed to win now? Calm down, dude.
I mean, I'm carrying you, so... like, I'm helping you beat me by being ahead. Let's put it like that.
Oh, so yeah, this track is kind of iffy because you have to be very gentle about how you approach the corners of the pipe like that. Because you
Yeah.
can just like immediately lose all your speed.
Generally, if it's like an uphill, like right here, you want to stay a bit on the side rather than the inside, because the inside will just like kill all your speed. And the outside will just slow you down. So generally you don't MCS on pipe, but I just did anyway. Like
Okay.
this game handles pipes very weirdly. If you go into them at an angle, like it'll drop your speed down to like a few 100 kilometers per hour. Okay, kind of low on energy. Right.
Shout out to my boy Rob there in the distance.
Oh yeah.
Funny Easter egg. I got a shift boost from
Oh nice.
janky track.
Yeah. Also, the part at the very end where it gets super thin, like that. If you're not careful, you'll just start flying off all over the place. You can skip back like half a minute into the track. It gets pretty bad. Now, from a bad track to a good track, pretty much everybody agrees that Thunder Road is a very nice track to play.
There's just nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah.
Corners are nice. There's
Yeah, pretty
plenty
much.
of jumps, shift boost possibilities. Plenty of refillers.
Yeah, that too. Like, it's just very fast-paced. Despite being, like, a very long track, it's the second longest in the game. But still, like, gotta be careful not to hit you. Okay, hi there. Okay, not sure if I can get this jump on the opener. Nope. Especially if I do it like that.
Yep. Reset.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try and get a shift boost here. It's kind of random. It's fine. Like, with your normal top speed, you don't have enough speed to lift off and maybe get a shift boost, but if you're side attacking, then you can. So I always just spam side attack there and hope for the best. barely hit the wall, which actually costs a lot of speed. Okay, so now with boost it's a lot easier to make the skip. Although you still don't want to hit the wall.
Oh, rip. Like that.
I mean, you didn't hit the wall I was referring to, but yeah,
No,
just
but
don't
I
hit
hit-
walls in general. That would be good.
Speed thing.
Cannon Star can actually NTS chain similarly to Quick Star, it's just a lot harder to do. It's not quite as beneficial. Cannon Star has very strong grip, so it can take some effort to make sure your grip stays broken. I did it again. Went too early.
Barely missed the wall.
I almost just ran into the wall. Like every now and then you'll just
Oh, yep.
you'll just lose control of your machine, and then like you really have to try to regain control as fast as possible, otherwise you'll just crash. Okay, that's actually a really nice rail slide you can do here. Like, it just works perfectly. Like the way it curves, it allows you to enter the rail slide just smoothly. It's perfect. Why can't they all be like that? Then I never have to worry about bouncing off ever again. What vehicle do you use here again?
I think I'm just gonna use Gallon.
Okay. I'll try and go with Quickstar. See how that goes.
I hope I can get the skip at least already. That's hard banger.
I mean, you can use Hardbanger too, but
Hard banger is always an option.
yeah. Okay, so I guess we're both gonna try and go for the skip.
Yeah.
Hopefully at least one of us gets it. That would be good. It can be very difficult.
I'm too early. Oh, you got it at least.
Yeah. So there's a trick there with hitting an invisible checkpoint and like not landing too late on the track, otherwise you'll explode from crossing too much distance, I think. It's just very finicky. It's a lot easier to do with Quickstar because of it being light. You have more control over your jump. And then there's another really cool skip you can do here, but it's also very difficult to pull off consistently. So from this part, like the top of the hill, you can jump all the way to the top of the spiral. But then you also, again, have to worry about like not crossing too much distance, like landing in the right place.
It's mostly just like making sure you hit the checkpoint.
Yeah.
Otherwise you just explode. You have to be far enough to the right, otherwise the game just thinks you're cheating. Oh my god, it's so fast.
I just want to give a shout out to YoshiFan for doing a lot of research into like the checkpoint system and how stuff like that works internally. Because that really helped me understand the skip a lot better. I used to like never get it. And even when I didn't know what I was doing differently to make it. So yeah, it's really nice to have people working on the game like that. Let's see if I can get this one. Bumped into a wall.
No, same.
It's just generally very difficult to do with Gallant unless you're doing the shift boost, which are also
I didn't get the shift boost.
difficult to get.
You have to go like a certain speed.
Yeah.
Around 7. Oh, 1700 kilometers an hour.
Okay, I made it far enough. I was really worried for a moment. I usually don't get the skip on all 3 laps, so this is actually like really nice. Kind of curious to see the final time after this, because it might be an ILPB, or at least close to it. Although my MTSing hasn't been cleanest. Hit the wall again. You have to be at a very specific spot to lift off and then still make it. Surprised I survived that.
Ah, rip.
Alright. Yeah, let's see what time I got. Oh, well, never mind, that's not even close. That's really weird. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works.
How are we gonna do it? Alright.
Hard banger. So this last track is actually the first track in AX. It's very simple, so we're just gonna use hard banger because hard banger is great. You gonna go for that? I'm gonna go for that.
It's all about making it as ugly as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
It's also the last track of the game.
Yeah, so at the end of the final lap on this track we'll call time. So that'll be in about a minute.
Slightly less, I would say, 50 seconds.
I mean, it depends. Like, I'm not sure what time Hardbanger usually gets here. Just gonna bang hard.
Oh yeah, the boost is so long.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like, even in first place, I'm getting 1900s. Like, it's a really good booster. I guess we call time when the fade out happens, or when we both finish. So that'll be time. Looks like we actually set pretty good estimates. So yeah, that was F0GX. Thank you all for watching. Do you have anything else to say?
I don't think so. Good luck with AX, I guess.
Yeah, first we're gonna do Climax, so I'm gonna have to
Climax,
switch
yeah.
around my console, and then we're switching back to Wii.